अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Every single verse of Srimad Bhagavatam can be explained in various different ways. Therefore it is said that Prati Shabda Prati Akshare Nana Artha Koy. Every single Akshar, every single Shabda of Srimad Bhagavatam, many different meanings can be given on pure devotional service. Best thing about Srimad Bhagavatam is no material talk, only pure devotional service. How to attain Krishna this life, Bhagavatam talks about. All the time, every single verse. And the cherry on the cake is the Bhakti Vedanta purports. Every single verse which talks about pure devotional service, Srila Prabhupada makes it more intense by giving his purports, which are so very relevant for the contemporary modern age. Here in these two verses, which we just read, it is talking about different spiritual activities, or the principal spiritual activities. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, he says, the constant association with the spiritual activities of the Supreme Lord gradually spiritualizes the conditioned soul and ultimately severs the knot of material bondage. Very beautiful statement. So constant association of spiritual activities spiritualizes. Whom it spiritualizes? All of us. The conditioned soul. And ultimately severs the knot of material bondage. So what does that mean? Just by constantly being in touch with spiritual activities, we can break the cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to Godhead. In another place, Srila Prabhupada writes, 2nd chapter, Shloka 61, where he says, a great personality called Amrish Maharaj was able to control his senses because of following a particular abhyasa, a particular practice. Now the question comes that why a practice is needed? What is the need of that? And the answer is given Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Srila Rupa Goswami in chapter 1 or part 1, chapter 1 and text 12, he mentions, Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. So when we engage all our senses in service of the Lord, what happens? Two effects. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. We become free from all the false designations of this world. As of now, it's all false designations only. I am this, I am that. After death, where it goes? No one knows. No one knows where the person went. Forget about designation. And the second thing that happens is our senses become purified. So two effects are there when we engage our senses in service of the Lord. First, false designations go away. Second, senses become purified. Now see, when the senses are becoming purified, what is so great about what will happen if senses are becoming purified? Firstly, the senses will remain under control. More important than that is, when we serve the Lord, Lord will get pleasure. As of now, our service is like making some sweet and before offering it to the Lord, putting some stones and sand particles on it as topping. Topping and mixing also at the same time. Who will get pleasure? Just think about it, that you come to ISKCON Bhakti Center, and then during prasad time, while serving, so we have whatever, rice, dal, sabji, puri, whatever, and sweet. And then there is another devotee standing at the end. So everyone is putting, and at the end he puts sand particles on everything and then says, Hare Krishna, have prasad. And now what are we expected to do? Remove those sand particles, remove those stones and eat. Maza aayega? So pathetic it will be. The person would say that I'll never come to the center again. But look at the merciful Lord. Whatever we offer, He removes all the contamination and He accepts and He gives us prasad. Now just imagine, what is that sand particles? What are those stones? Those are our contamination, our anarthas. Since we are not pure, since our senses are not pure, so it's very natural that whatever offering that will be there will be filled with contamination. But when the senses are purified, the offering is pure, and that offering will give pleasure to the Lord. So wonderful, so wonderful. Only sweet rice, no stones, no sand particles. Kitna maza aayega khane mein, no tension. So that pleasure Lord will get. Another very important thing, when someone engages his senses in service of the Lord, when the senses get purified, naturally the devotee will get attracted to the Lord. Abhi force karna padta hai khud ko. That yes, I want to do bhakti. Yes, I want to hear Bhagavatam class. Force karna padta hai. But natural attraction will develop when we engage in service of the Lord and when the senses get purified. So this great personality, Amrish Maharaj, he helps us to understand that how we should purify our senses. Just imagine I'm talking about the king of the entire world at that time. He and his wife, only thing that they would be doing is devotional service. So question comes, Prabhuji, agar keval bhakti kar rahe the, to who would be ruling the entire kingdom? The bhakti of Amrish Maharaj was so great that Lord sent a Sudarshan Chakra, go and guard the entire place. No one should come and attack Amrish Maharaj's kingdom. And Amrish Maharaj aram se baith ke, he's doing his devotional service. Just imagine if we also get some benediction like that. Sit at home and do devotional service. At the end of the month, your bank account is credited with XXX amount. So wonderful that will be, yeah? So what was Amrish Maharaj doing? How was he engaging his senses in service of the Lord? Very beautifully it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, chapter 4, shloka number 18 to 20. Please repeat everyone. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vachamsi vaikuntha gunanu varnane karo harer mandira marjinadishu shrutim chakarat chutasat kathodaye mukundalinga lay darshane drisho tadbhritya gatra sparshenga sangamam Granam chatat pada saroja saurabhe Shrimat tulasya rasanam tadarpite Padav harer kshetra padanusarpane Shiro rishikesha padabhivandane Kamam chadasya natu kama kamyaya Ya uttama shloka janashraya ratihi. So wonderful shloka and many things to learn. There are 11 activities that Amrish Maharaj was doing. And the last line says that these activities, if it is done, all the senses are engaged in service of the Lord. And what happens? Rati, Janashraya Rati will develop towards whom? Uttama Shloka, that is Krishna. When someone is naturally attracted towards the Lord and his service, his life will be very blissful, very peaceful, very satisfying, very happy. So let's see what are these 11 activities. First one is Savai Manha Krishna Padara Vindayo. It means his mind was always engaged on meditating on Krishna. Krishna's lotus feet, to be more specific. So we are going to remember all these 11 so that we can implement in our day-to-day life. So we'll have a quiz at the end. First one is meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. Whenever I think about this one line, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo, I get the remembrance of Rukmini Devi. Srimati Rukmini Devi, her marriage was fixed with Shishupal. Who fixed the marriage? Her brother Rukmi. But she was not interested to marry this demon Shishupal. She was interested only in one personality, and he is, yes, our Lord Krishna. She was so eager. She has never seen Krishna. But she had so much of attraction towards Krishna just by hearing about Krishna that she wrote a letter, come and kidnap me. Any Mataji would like to try this? We don't know who the person is and you just hear about the person, you write a letter. This is only possible with Krishna, with no one else. With no one else. So now, the thing was, she sent a Brahmana with a letter. He gave the letter, Krishna got the letter, he read the letter, he started from there. But it was the day of marriage and Rukmini Devi is waiting. When will Krishna come? When will Krishna come? And at that time, the Brahmana enters. You can imagine the entire scene. She is sitting. When will my Lord come? And at that time, the Brahmana enters. And immediately, the morose Rukmini, she became ecstatic. And Brahmana told, don't worry, Krishna has come. Now, she started from her palace and she was going to the temple of Girija. Girija is one of the form of Durga. Now she was going there in the procession. This procession was also very wonderful. She was there, a few females, and after that all soldiers were there around. Protection from Krishna. So they were all moving. Now it is described, very beautifully it is described. Rukmini is walking towards Girija, but her mind is meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. All the time her meditation was this, when will I see my Krishna? When will I see my Krishna? Just imagine if every devotee gets this mode of all the time meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, life will be successful. Life will be successful. But kya kare? We are busy meditating on something else of this world. Beach mein we meditate on Krishna maybe once or twice a day. Even when we come in front of the altar to meditate on the lotus feet of Krishna is rare. Yes or no? Recently I was in one of the center and there they had a quiz. Vaishnava etiquette they were discussing how to take darshan of the Lord. And the question was asked that which color dhoti is Narsimhadev wearing in the altar? Yes, tell me here. Hari bol. See, someone is saying yellow, someone is saying white. So there also everyone is confused. Which color? That is how we take darshan when we come every Sunday. So it's actually cream color with a red border. Yes. I know that because we have that cloth in our center. So when we take darshan of the Lord, can you imagine taking the darshan of the Lord with focus? That also is very difficult. Huh? So meditating on the lotus feet is something that is again and again spoken in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada writes in Nectar of Instruction that one of the ways of controlling the mind is meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. We all can do this activity. Now where we can have some photo of our deities and meditate on the lotus feet or see the lotus feet of the Lord, close your eyes and try to meditate how the lotus feet looks like. That itself is very, very purifying. Very, very purifying. And Amrish Maharaj, 24/7, he was doing this, meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. Savai Manha Krishna Padara Vindayo. Rukmini was doing this, meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. And all the devotees in Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Chaitamrit, their only thing was meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. Now someone might ask, why only lotus feet? I like the face, Prabhuji. We always start with the lotus feet because for great personalities, we always look at the lotus feet first. That is the first thing, to note. And when it comes to face, okay, we can take darshan, no doubt, but always the meditation is on the lotus feet. And also it is described, the canto that we're discussing, the first canto, that is compared to the lotus feet of the Lord. So when we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, when we're meditating on the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is also equivalent to meditating on the Lord. Savai Manha Krishna Padara Vindayo. After that, second one is Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanuvarnane. So what does that mean? He would engage his tongue, or he would engage his speech in speaking about the Lord, glorifying the Lord. This is what he was doing. Any examples from Srimad Bhagavatam who were always engaged in glorifying the Lord? Okay, Shukadeva Goswami. Can you imagine Shukadeva Goswami, 7 days, 7 nights, no food, no water, continuous speaking. Continuous speaking, no break also in between. Here we have some people sitting. There they had thousands of people sitting, almost like a stadium, and everyone is eagerly hearing. And Shukadeva Goswami had to speak, and he continued speaking. How much taste for speaking? About the Lord, not about himself. For us, speaking about the Lord, for some time it's okay. But speaking about ourselves, it can go on for a long time. That's the difference between the pure devotee and the sadhaka. What are the other examples from Bhagavatam? Suta Goswami. Yes, Suta Goswami, he repeated whatever he heard from Shukadeva Goswami. And? Okay, Kunti Maharani, she is also glorifying. Yeah. Maitreya Muni. And? Narada Muni. Narada Muni bajaye veena radhika ramana name. Narada Muni has no other business except going around and just glorifying Krishna. Who else? Okay, Parikshit was hearing. Okay, Bhishma Dev. What about the residents of Vrindavan? Their only thing in life was coming together and discussing about Krishna. One gopi is telling another gopi, you know what Krishna did today? And she describes, Krishna killed Putana today. Krishna stole butter like this from my house. And what about the Gopas, the friends of Krishna? They would go and see whatever is happening. I mean, in the forest with Krishna while playing. And when Krishna kills a demon, they would come back home and mothers would ask, what did Krishna do today? Did you hear the question? The mothers are asking their kids, what did Krishna do today? Normally parents, when the kids come back from school, Beta, what did you do today? How was your day? But here the mothers are not interested in what kids did. They are interested to hear what Krishna did. And the boys, when they come home, their speech is also wonderful. Today my Krishna killed demon because of me. Because he's my friend, so he was able to kill the demon. And they would glorify Krishna for that. In this way, be it the elderly gopas or be it the elderly gopis, be it the younger gopis or be it the younger gopas, anyone and everyone in Vrindavan just talking about Krishna. Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanu Vardhane. How many qualities Krishna has? Very nice, 64. Bhagavatam says it cannot be counted. So out of the infinite qualities of the Lord, 64 are prominent. Because if you say 64, you defy the statement of Bhagavatam. It is described that you may be able to count the number of grains or sand particles in Ganga or in the ocean, but you cannot calculate, you cannot count the qualities of Krishna. Unlimited qualities. Now just imagine if any devotee starts describing one quality of Krishna every day, I think entire life we can just keep doing this. And one of the greatest thing that when we come in the association of devotees is this we can do. Vachansi Vaikuntha Gunanu Vardhane. We can speak about Krishna, hear about Krishna. This is not possible outside. Just imagine you go to your neighbor and tell that, no, I want to speak about Krishna, come sit. Or you go to your manager in the office and say that he's asking, so what is the status of project? I'll tell you from Bhagavatam. No one will be interested to hear, isn't it? The only glory or only great thing that we can get in the association of devotees. There are many, many, but the highest thing I would say is coming together and glorifying Krishna. And literally we have seen also, small kids also talk about Krishna here. Mataji is talking about Krishna, Prabhuji is talking about Krishna. It's all about glorifying Krishna or things related to Krishna. Therefore, it is described that when devotees come together, Machitta, Madgata, Prana, Bodhayantah Parasparam. When devotees come together, what do? They discuss about Krishna. And if devotees are coming together and not discussing about Krishna, can they be called as devotees? Huh? Devotees are confused. Am I a devotee or not then? So we have to discuss about Krishna. We are practicing devotees, so sometimes we will discuss something non-Krishna conscious, sometimes Krishna conscious. Once I was giving a class to youth boys and they asked a question. One of the boys asked a question. Can we hear songs which are neutral? So this neutral means not Krishna conscious and not very weird. Something in between. So it's Krishna conscious and not Krishna conscious, something in between. Then he asked me, so can we hear neutral songs? So I said, sing some song first, let me hear that. Neutral song means what? It's either Krishna conscious or not Krishna conscious. There's nothing grey in between. Therefore, as devotees, whenever we open our mouth, we should try to speak about Krishna or things related to Krishna or about devotees or something like that. Very, very important. Or helping someone to get closer to Krishna. That also comes in this category. So very, very important. If we don't use our tongue in service of the Lord, in glorifying the Lord, Srila Prabhupada says in Nectar of Instruction that such a person, his speech is compared to the croaking of a frog. That too in the rainy season. And the frog thinks that he's singing, but he does not know. He's singing Mahaprasade Govinde on behalf of snake. Snake will come and eat him off. So that speech or that croaking of a frog is nothing but an invitation for his own death. Therefore, it is described that whenever we get chance, we should speak about Krishna. And those devotees who are aspiring to attain Krishna this life, we have no option but to speak only about Krishna. Things related to Krishna and assisting people to get closer to Krishna. Ambrish Maharaj was doing this. All the time speaking about Krishna. Sometimes maybe to his wife, sometimes in the meetings with his ministers, sometimes to all the residents of his kingdom, all the time speaking about Krishna. So two activities we have discussed. First, mind meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna. Second, tongue or speech in glorification of Krishna. Then he says, Karo harer mandira marjanadishu, using the hands, utilizing the hands to cleanse the temple, to do various activities in the temple. One example which comes to my mind is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personally, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is personally cleaning the temple in Jagannath Puri called Gundicha Temple. It was Jagannath Rath Yatra time, and one day before Jagannath Rath Yatra is the Gundicha festival, where Lord Chaitanya personally went and cleansed the entire temple. It is described that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there and all his followers were also there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cleaning and the followers were cleaning. And the dust that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected and the dust that the followers were collected, they were put on the two sides. And the dust collected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was huge and followers was less. And again they went. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at all the followers. And now it was almost like done. No, we all cleaned. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is second round of cleaning. And they went inside again. And now the cracks and whatever was there in between the two stones or whatever, they started cleaning that. And after that, they started getting water. And they were pouring everywhere in the temple. And they were cleaning that. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally with his hands With his own hands, he was cleaning the entire temple with his followers. Lord is setting an example for all of us. How important it is to clean the temple. Those devotees are fortunate who get the opportunity to clean the temple after the Sunday feast class. Yes, holding the... Now today don't fight. So cleaning the entire floor. Some particles of prasad is there. The dust of the feet of devotees are there. And then you get an opportunity to clean all that. So wonderful. In Guru Ashtakam, the third verse also talks about this. Shri Vigrahara Dhana Nityanana Shringaratan Mandira Marjanadav. So what does the Guru do? Guru engages the disciple in service of Krishna in the temple. Especially one point mentioned is cleaning the temple. So once, His Grace Aindra Prabhu, senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who established 24 hours Kirtan Mandali in Vrindavan, he was cleaning toilet in the temple. So some other brahmacharis came and they said, Prabhuji, what are you doing? You're a senior disciple of Prabhupada, please don't do this. And Aindra Prabhu said, what happened? What's wrong in this? No, Prabhuji, you're very senior. No, please don't do this. We will do it. And you know what Aindra Prabhu said? Aindra Prabhu said, aren't toilets in Vrindavan? So when I'm cleaning, it's a service that is offered to Vrindavan. Can you imagine the mood of these senior devotees? For them, anything and everything connected to the temple is equivalent to the temple. Anything and everything connected to Vrindavan is equivalent to Vrindavan. And they would utilize that opportunity to cleanse that place. Therefore, anytime we get any chance to cleanse the temple, at home or in the temple there currently where we are, we should utilize that opportunity. Using the hands for cleansing the temple, the hands will become purified. Hands will become purified. Very, very important. So the third thing which Ambrish Maharaj was doing, can you imagine the king of the entire world? He is going and cleaning the temple. That is called as, firstly, engaging in service, and second, setting an example. Such a wonderful thing. Such a wonderful thing. So we have seen three things till now. First, mind in meditation of lotus feet of Krishna. Second, tongue or speech. Speech in glorification of Krishna. Third, hands in cleansing the temple. So any service that we can do with the hand, should be done. Now in some service allocation is happening, Prabhuji, only cleansing temple with hand. No other service. No. Anything that we can do with the hands purifies the hand. Now fourth one, it is said as Shrutim Chakara Achyuta Sat Kathodaye. Shrutim Chakara Achyuta Katha. So ears are used for hearing about the Lord. Very beautiful shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam. Please repeat. Yannama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha Tasya Tirtha Pada Kimva Dasanama Vishishyate. Simple shloka, no? Yannama Shruti Matrena Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. Just by hearing about the Lord, Yan Nama Shruti, Matrena, just by hearing about the Lord, glorification of the Lord, what happens? Puman Bhavati Nirmalaha. The person becomes completely purified. Shrunatam Shraddhaya Nityam Grinatascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Na Ati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Ridhi. And when the heart is cleansed, when the person is pure, Lord personally enters the heart of the devotee. Lord sits on the lotus flower of the heart of the devotee. Therefore, hearing is a very, very important activity, and the best example of hearing is Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj, when the 10th canto is about to start, only 3.5 days or something like that is left. How many days he had? 7 days. 7. Out of that, now 3.5 days or something like that is remaining. So Shukadeva Goswami, what he did was, towards the end of 9th canto, Shukadeva Goswami summarized the entire Krishna Lila in 2-3 verses. And at that time, Parikshit Maharaj, he interrupted his guru in between. Can you imagine class is going on and then you interrupt the speaker? Today don't do that. Just like that I'm saying. You interrupt the speaker and say, Prabhuji, ye bhaiya, aage kaho aar. Now tell something else. Now just imagine Shukadeva Goswami speaking. In that flow, Parikshit Maharaj stops him in between and he says that, can you please describe the Leelas of the Lord? Now Shukadeva Goswami might say, I've already described. 3 verses I described, I completed the entire Krishna Leela. Then Shukadeva Goswami says, Vistarat, describe elaborately. Now Shukadeva Goswami might say that, see, my dear disciple Parikshit, you have been fasting for so long. You have not drunk water. You didn't sleep also. One of the best thing about this center is the temperature is so wonderful that no one can sleep. There, Parikshit Maharaj, when Shukadeva Goswami says, Shukadeva Goswami is saying like this, you have not eaten, you have not drunk, you have not slept. And Parikshit Maharaj is saying, who said I am not drinking? Gurudev, who said I am not drinking? I am drinking the nectar of Krishna Katha flowing from your mouth. Continue, Gurudev, continue. But don't summarize now. Vistara, describe elaborately describe. This is called as eagerness to hear. Very, very important. When this eagerness to hear is there, the person qualifies to enter the spiritual world. Prabhupada writes in 1st canto, 2nd chapter, shloka 16. Shushusho Shaddadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi. In that shloka he writes in the purport that the first qualification to enter the spiritual world is eagerness to hear about Krishna. We should be always eager to hear about Krishna. Whenever we have these Bhagavatam classes, we should be very, very attentive, making notes, hearing. And the hearing should be such that the speaker shouldn't stop speaking. And when speaker stops speaking, our eye should go red. Why did you stop? Continue. Yes. See, as of now, it's the other way around. Will you stop or not? But it should be the other way around, saying, why did you stop? Continue. So in this way, it's a very, very important thing that somehow we should develop that eagerness to hear. Why a devotee should be eager to hear? Because just by hearing, we'll get purified, we'll develop attraction towards Krishna, like Rukmini developed attraction towards Krishna. And by that attraction towards Krishna, our life will become successful. So this is the 4th one. Hearing the glories of the Lord using these 2 ears. So till now we have seen the mind and speech, hands and ears. Now let's go to the next one. Then he says, Mukunda Linga Laya Darshane Drisha. Arey kya baat? Eyes, yes. Darshan is the word that helps us to understand. Mukunda Linga Laya Darshane Drisha. So these eyes should be used in taking darshan of the Lord. Tell me where all Lord is there? Deity in the temple. Second. In the hearts of devotees. Therefore it is said, Tumara Hriday Govinda Vishram. Oh Vaishnav Thakur, in your heart, Govinda is resting. Govinda is there. And it's a fact. Any devotee who is always immersed in Krishna consciousness, Lord is always residing in the heart of the devotee. See, whenever we pay obeisance, not to other devotees, we are paying obeisance to Krishna who is there in the heart of devotee. And when some devotee is paying obeisance to us, we shouldn't think that. Tathastu. When some devotee is paying obeisance to us, he's not paying obeisance to us, he's paying obeisance to Krishna in the heart of ours. Therefore, you see, when devotees come together, when one devotee pays obeisance, other devotees also pay obeisance together. That's the Vaishnava etiquette. Therefore, it's very, very important to note that taking darshan of the Lord is not just restricted to the temple. Obviously, when we come to the temple, we should take darshan of the Lord. Sometimes I've seen devotees from far, they'll pay obeisance and run away. Outside people, not devotees, outside people. Run away from there. What did you see? What did you see? From far you pay obeisance, run away. What did you see? Every single devotee should make it a point to come close to the altar, wherever you're allowed to till that point, and take darshan of the Lord. And when we take darshan of the Lord, we should take darshan of the Lord very, very meticulously. First seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. Then going up, you see the ankle and the ankle bells on the lotus feet. Don't miss the tulasi that is stuck on the lotus feet of the Lord. And going up to the knees and the waist and the navel and going up till his chest. Don't miss the garland that Lord is wearing. And the flute that he is holding and the beautiful face with his lips, reddish like lips, and his eyes and the peacock feather on the head with the beautiful turban. So this is how we take darshan. This is how we take darshan. Sometimes when devotees take darshan and come and other devotees are asking, which color dress Lord was wearing? Some color he was wearing. Some color he was wearing. Because taking darshan of the Lord should be very meticulous. So you should be able to see which ornament where. Where is it? I remember I was in Radha Raman temple, Vrindavan. I had gone with my friend. And then we were taking darshan of Radha Raman. Radha Raman is just 1 feet size, height. And very far they will keep. So we have to use binoculars and take darshan. So I also saw through binoculars and very beautiful deity. And then my friend also took one. And then after that we sat together and then my friend was asking, hey, you saw the flute, it was looking so beautiful. It was tugged in the dhoti. Flute? Where was it? And then he was describing other features and I was like, really? Give the binoculars again, let me go and see again. Oh, it was actually there. Then that day I was feeling so small in front of all the devotees sitting there. I was thinking, this is how I take darshan. Phat, ekdam. Dekha. Lotus feet, navel, eyes, done. So taking darshan of the Lord, when it is done nicely, eyes get purified. Again, Krishna, in the age of Kali as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he teaches us how to take darshan of the Lord. He would stand at Garuda Stamba and Jagannath is there far. From Garuda Stamba he is taking darshan. And one of the reasons why he would stand at Garuda Stamba, multiple reasons. One of them is this, that in between there will be many devotees. And Garuda Dev is a pure devotee of the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's logic was, Jagannath will surely look at Garuda Dev. And since I will be standing beside him, so mera bhi kuch ho sakta hai. So when we heard this class, then when we go with senior devotees, we just stand beside them. Maybe behind them and in between come out like this. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was holding Garuda Stamba and he was taking darshan of Jagannath. Huge eyes of Jagannath, huge structure, so beautiful. With this beautiful, the garland that he's wearing of flowers and the nose ring that he has big, made up of flowers, all that, and he's taking darshan. And Govinda, his servant, he was also there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Leela is a sannyasi, just so that he can go and bless everyone. And sannyasi means very strict sannyasi, no talking to female. All females, they take darshan from far, no coming close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when he was taking darshan of Jagannath, holding Garuda Stamba, there was a lady who came, her height was small, old lady. She was so eager to see Jagannath, she was not able to see because all heighted people were there. And she was not able to see Jagannath. You know what she did? She climbed, not Garuda Stamba, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And she's standing on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking support of Garuda Stamba. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would go away from ladies. As soon as he see a lady, he'll go away. A lady has climbed the shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Govinda is like, hey, come down. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked. Now just imagine a lady standing on your shoulder and looking at her. And she was taking darshan of Jagannath with so much of eagerness. And when Govinda was pulling her down, come down. He was also not touching because he is also sannyasi. He is also not touching. Hey, come down. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, she has got so much of eagerness to take darshan of Jagannath. Let her take darshan. May someday I also get eagerness to take darshan of Jagannath. Can you imagine? What should be the eagerness to take darshan of the Lord? But please don't try this at home, nor in the temple. You go and climb someone's shoulder. Let me take darshan of Gandharvika Giridhari Gaurhari. This is the eagerness. This is the eagerness. Every single day, Srila Prabhupada, after coming back from his morning walk, Govindam Adi Purusham, we play, no? In Darshanarti. So Prabhupada would personally go and stand in front of every altar for a good amount of time taking darshan of the Lord. As if Prabhupada is asking the Lord, hope all these people are doing proper service to you. And Lord is saying, and then Prabhupada will move to the next altar. For you, services are okay. Next altar. Prabhupada will literally stand for a good amount of time and take darshan of the Lord. Therefore, he's called Acharya. He teaches us by his acharan, by his own example. Therefore, I should be engaged in service of the Lord. That is by seeing the Lord. Either in the deity form or taking darshan of the devotees. Therefore, it's very important to put tilak, Any outsider who sees your tilak, they get the merit of taking darshan of the lotus feet of the Lord with tulasi offered. Sometimes people hesitate to put tilak. Itna bada hai, itna bada hai. Chota lagayenge, chota. My grandmother was saying, why putting so big? Put little, no? You look good. This is not style statement. This is not style statement. This is an imprint of the lotus feet of the Lord which says that I belong to Krishna. Anyone who puts tilak, he's proclaiming to the entire world, I belong to Krishna. And guess what? When the entire world sees him, they get the opportunity of taking darshan or the merit of taking darshan of the lotus feet of the Lord with tulasi offered. And in no time, that person will also be part of the devotee sangha putting a tilak with a lotus feet and Vaishnav tilak with lotus feet and tulasi. So important to put tilak, so important. And even Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. It is described when Krishna ascended to Goloka Vrindavan, he came down again in the form of Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also Mukunda Linga Laya Darshane Drisha. Therefore, every single devotee should have Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam and other books where just by looking at that, we get the merit of taking darshan. That does not mean that we just keep seeing the outside cover. We should open also sometimes and read. One devotee was sharing, he went for Bhagavatam, he went for some program and it was the house of a devotee who has spent good number of years in Krishna consciousness, and he asked first canto Bhagavatam and he got first canto, all the dust removed and then he got with cover. And this devotee asked, he was giving pravachan, you didn't open Bhagavatam till now? The devotee is saying, Prabhuji, we're waiting for you. You come and open first. So it's very, very important to read Shastra. When we read Shastra, what is happening? We're taking darshan of Krishna through the verses and pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada said every line of his purport is his ecstasy, devotional ecstasy. So whenever we're reading Prabhupada's purports, we are actually getting darshan of Krishna. How's that? So in this way, eyes have to be engaged. So till now, we have engaged our mind, speech, hands, ears and eyes. Kids will be looking, why they are pointing towards all sense organs? Next one. Tadbhritya gatra sparshenga sangamam. This is 6th. So this means using the sense of touch for what? Serving the devotees, touching the devotees. Touching the lotus feet of devotees, serving them by massaging their bodies or whatever service that we can do for them. That is by using the sense of touch. Dhruv Maharaj, when he got Sakshat Darshan of Krishna, he said, Swamin Kratharthosmi Varam Nayache, I don't want anything, I've got your darshan. And he was ecstatic. And this news spread everywhere, even when there was no WhatsApp and social media. Everyone got to know that Dhruv Maharaj got darshan of Krishna. And this news went to his father also, who didn't allow him to sit on the lap. Uttanapad Maharaj. Uttanapad Maharaj heard that my son Dhruva has got darshan of Krishna. So after getting darshan of Krishna, again Dhruv Maharaj came back. He was completely satisfied. He does not want the kingdom, nothing he wants. He came back to the same kingdom of Uttanapad Maharaj. Uttanapad Maharaj, he got to know my son is coming back to the kingdom. He came out of the kingdom towards the garden where Dhruv Maharaj had come. And you know what Uttanapad Maharaj was doing? He went there and he started embracing Dhruv Maharaj. He was touching Dhruv Maharaj again and again. And why he was touching Dhruv Maharaj? He was thinking, this boy has got darshan of Krishna. He has touched the lotus feet of Krishna. He's all pure. Yes. I personally do that when devotees get initiated newly. Pure at that time. I went to this place, Pandharpur. So I saw the devotees there, local devotees. They call as Varkaris. After taking darshan of the Lord, they were touching each other's feet and embracing each other. I was thinking, why are they doing all this? Then I was able to connect with this pastime. They took darshan and they're all purified and they're hugging each other. Hari bol! We're pure. So it's very important to serve the devotees using the touch, the sensation that we have, touch sensation that we have. That's how the touch sensation or skin gets purified. Very, very important. So whatever service we get for serving a devotee and giving them pleasure, we should utilize our sense of touch in serving them. This recently a sannyasi who had come to a center, His Holiness Bhakti Brihad Swami Maharaj, he was telling that yes, one should touch the lotus feet of devotees, because one devotee asked a question that so Maharaj, I like to touch the feet of devotees but they don't allow. So Maharaj said, he made a statement like it is better to be something, he said, forgiven. But the point was, don't worry, touch the feet. That was the point. Whenever a sannyasi comes or something like that. But then with the permission, that's what was told. With the permission. So many times people ask this question that, can we touch the feet of devotees? Yes, with their permission, we can surely touch their feet. If they don't give permission, you cannot force them. Yes. Because just by touching a devotee, need not be always physical. Need not be always physical. When we accept their instructions, it is equivalent to touching their feet. Touching the feet means what? We are taking a subordinate position. Yes. So when we accept their instruction, it's equivalent to touching the feet. And you know what happens? When we touch the feet of a senior devotee, it's like we have taken their shelter. And that devotee accepts us, our responsibility. And same thing happens when we accept the instructions of the devotee. When we follow those instructions, it's equivalent because we have accepted that person as our superior and that person has also accepted as his subordinate. So in this way, touching the body of devotees, either in terms of accepting the instruction or physically serving them in whatever way is possible, one should be doing that. Many times when devotees come, devotees cook for them and offer. When devotees go to their home, they serve there in various ways. So this is the opportunity that we have. Have you seen the devotees putting narsim oil, putting chandan on the forehead? That's all seva, using the touch sensation. In this way, one should serve. Therefore, grastas, they have all opportunity to do this service. You see, the guests who come, they have no option. You're standing at the door. And now they have to ask, how can I go inside your house? I have to serve you first. Put chandan. And then, put narsim oil. And if they allow, touch their feet, wash their feet. Okay, now you can go inside. So in this way, we see the sensation of touch is used in service of Krishna. Ambarish Maharaj, the king, was doing this. Our Krishna did this, Baba, in Rajasuya sacrifice. He was washing the feet of his devotees who were coming there. Can you imagine that? He was doing that personally. Our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did that. He used to go and touch the feet of Advaita Acharya. He would go and embrace the devotees. In this way, this is a very, very important engagement for the sensation of touch or skin. So this is the sixth one. So last 5 to go. So what all things we have engaged till now? Mind, tongue. Tongue nahi, speech. Tongue aayega bhi wapas. Speech. Hands. Ears. Eyes. Skin. Now let's go to the next one. 7th. Granam cha tatpad saroj saurabhe Srimat Tulasya. Very good. Smell. Have you seen in ISKCON this one thing which is very unique and special? Flowers are offered and then given it to everyone for smelling. Yes, smelling the Mahaprasad flowers. And when we get to smell the flowers, in the mind we are supposed to say Jai Mahaprasad. When we get to take the Aarti, there's an etiquette to say Jai Mahaprasad. Because Mahaprasad has come to us. Yeah. In Russia, the devotees, when they started preaching, and it was very difficult preaching there, as soon as anyone found preaching, they would be put behind bars. It was very tough. Therefore, one devotee, what he was doing is he was offering flowers to the Lord, and he had so much of faith that this is Mahaprasad, and if someone smells this Mahaprasad, they will become devotees. He would go, offer flowers, and run out on the street and make everyone smell the flowers. See, in India, it's still understood. Just imagine foreign countries. But he was doing that. He had so much of faith. Just by smelling flowers, a person can become devotee. This is called as spiritual programming. Newcomers will never understand. What is this? Why are they giving these flowers? But we know. And there's a praman for this from Srimad Bhagavatam. There were 4 small boys who went to Vaikuntha. Who are they? Are they small boys? They are the oldest people in the entire universe after Brahma. But they wanted to always attend Goloka Kids classes. So they decided, no, we will curse ourselves, remain 5-year-old kid always. They always wanted to remain a kid. What does that mean? They always wanted to have the innocent heart of a kid, just serving the Lord all the time, not having the duplicitous mentality of an adult. So these 4 kids, or the 4 Kumaras, they were not devotees, they were Brahmavadis. They went to Dhruvaloka, and there they were outside the gate, and Jai Vijay are guarding. You call it as Vaikuntha or you call it a Dhruvaloka, one and the same. They are guarding. And Jai Vijay, they stopped them. You cannot go inside. And these 4 Kumaras, they got angry on Jai Vijay. They said, what's your problem? In Vaikuntha, there is no kunta, there is no suffering, there is no misery, there is no anxiety. Why you people are in anxiety? You are not qualified to be in Vaikuntha. I curse you. All 4 of them cursing together. Curse you that you become demons. And at that time, Lord Vishnu comes out from inside. And at that time, these 4 Kumaras, you should see the BBT photo that is there, so beautiful. They're not wearing clothes also, the 4 Kumaras. And they saw the Lord, and more than seeing the Lord, something happened there, and they became devotees immediately. Please repeat, everyone. Tasya Nayanasya Padaravinde Kinjal Kamishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu Antargatasva Vivarena Chakaratesha Shankshobha Aksharajusham Apichitta Tanvo. This happened. They saw the Lord and there was a breeze that was flowing. Now this breeze did something very wonderful. This breeze that was flowing, that touched the feet of the Lord, and now Lord's lotus feet has got 2 aromas. One aroma is that of tulasi itself, and second aroma is Lord's lotus feet itself. See, for us, we have to put pus and all that. We are so dirty people. Little bit sweat and the entire body stinks. Yes? So stinking is actually our natural aroma. But for the Lord, there is a very, very amazing fragrance that comes from his body. It is described when Krishna would change his dress would have the aroma of his body. You see, so wonderful. So when that breeze started flowing, that breeze took the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord, mixed with the aroma of tulasi, and that breeze went to the four Kumaras. And the four Kumaras, Hare Krishna, they became devotees immediately. Therefore, it is said that just by smelling the tulsi aroma mixed with the aroma of the lotus feet of the Lord, they became devotees. This is the glory of the offered tulasi or offered flowers to the Lord. Therefore, we shouldn't ever mistaking this Mahaprasad by smelling it. Just by smelling, our nose will become purified. Till date, we have smelled so many nonsensical things. Now, just by smelling the offered flowers, our nose will become purified completely. In this way, Ambarish Maharaj was engaging his nose in service of the Lord. Very, very important. Okay, let's go to the eighth one. Rasanam tadarpite. Yes, rasa. Tasting, rasana. That is tongue. Rasanam tadarpite. How many times Srila Prabhupada stresses on eating only prasad? I cannot count and tell you. Almost in every class, he'll highlight this point. Whenever it comes about tongue, immediately the first thing that he says is, one should taste prasad using one's tongue. And Prabhupada writes in the purport to 3rd chapter, Shloka 14 of Bhagavad Gita. He gives 4 points. What are the benefits of taking prasad? First point he says is, it nourishes the body spiritually. First point. The person becomes spiritually nourished just by having prasad. In fact, in ISKCON, there are so many people who have become devotees only coming after the class to have prasad. There was one person recently, our brahmachari was sharing. So weekdays, there are specific devotees who take prasad. They are called as prasad members. There was one person coming and taking prasad hidingly and packing his box. And he would come at that time when all the brahmacharis are sitting and hearing Bhagavatam class. 1 hour. So one day, one of our devotee went in between the Bhagavatam class upstairs. And that person is asking, Bhagavatam class over, huh? And like that, many times devotees come here. Say, there is an off. Like for example, now when we are on a yatra, it will be off. We will not have Sunday feast here. So sometime like that, devotees come and ask, क्या हो गया आज? Class नहीं है? And कभी आ रहे 1 बजे. At 1 o'clock, people come and class नहीं है आज. At the end, like this, many people have come to ISKCON only for having prasad. And they continuously come for only prasad. And guess what? After some time, they start coming a bit early for Aarti and Kirtan. After some time, a bit early for hearing question and answer part towards the end. And after that, they come in between the class, then at the start of the class, then before the class. And they become wonderful devotees. Just by having prasad. Just by having prasad. Therefore, I always say, all of you as Grahasthas, you have amazing opportunity to preach. Cook something, offer it to the Lord, and distribute in your apartment. That is called as preaching without they understanding its preaching. And in no time, by the magic of that prasad, they will become devotees, and one day they'll come and sit beside you, hearing Bhagavatam class saying, oh, this point was very nice. Amazing preaching strategy. So first thing is, it nourishes the body spiritually. Second, counteracts all reactions of past material infections. देखिए भर के पाप किया हम लोग ने, भर के reactions है. But with every morsel of prasad, you know what is happening? All those reactions are getting burnt. All those reactions are getting burnt. Amazing. Even honoring prasad is an anga of bhakti. Krishna is very happy when someone takes prasad. It's a very, very important thing. Third, makes one sufficiently resistant to material affection. Many times people say, Prabhuji, I'm attached to so many material things. And the solution given is have prasad. And the devotee is confused. Have prasad? Yes, just by having prasad, naturally we get detached from this material world also. And finally, the person progresses in spiritual realization. He becomes self-realized after some time just by taking prasad. Can you imagine that? So these are the 4 benefits that Srila Prabhupada is giving us of having prasad. I need not give examples of this. I think we all of us sitting here are a live example of prasad. How many of you, tell me frankly, were coming only for prasad and now you're sitting in the class? Are you good? Jai. Okay, 9th one. 8th was tongue. Tongue is engaged in honoring prasad. 9th one, Padav Harer Kshetra Padanu Sarpane. Using the feet in service of the Lord. How do you use the feet in service of the Lord? Walking towards the temple. So every time when you walk and come to ISKCON Bhakti Center, you're doing this, engaging your feet in service of the Lord. अगर घर दूर है तो चल के मत आइए. Just you park your vehicle and then चल के आइए. Yes. And when we go to Dham, we walk there, we do parikrama. All that is engaging the feet in service of the Lord. Can you imagine this? So wonderful. Therefore, it's very important that we walk towards the temple. We go to Dham. Whenever possible, we get the chance, we should go to Dham and there do parikrama. Go to temple and do parikrama. All this way, in all these different ways, we engage our feet in service of the Lord. Okay, till now, what all senses we have engaged? What all organs? First, mind, speech, hands, ears, eyes, nose, skin, and tongue. Feet. Yes. Tongue 2 बार किया क्या आप लोगों ने? हाँ, speech and tongue. Okay. So 9. Now we have the 10th one. Shiro Rishikesha Padabhivandane. Using the head in service of the Lord. How do you use the head in service of the Lord? Paying obeisances. When we pay obeisance to the Lord, so what happens? We're using our head in service of the Lord. Nowadays, people have their various styles of paying obeisance to the Lord. Yes. Since we are in the temple, we see people doing all that. And sometimes people... अभी दूसरा हाथ खाली है मतलब, हाँ, फिर भी. And sometimes people are very aggressive. What they're doing, they only know. And sometimes like this, like this, like this, like this. Yes. In Shastra, it is very clear how to pay obeisance. Either you do Panchanga Pranam, or you do Ashtanga Pranam, or you do Pranam with your Pranam Mudra. This is Pranam Mudra. This is no mudra. This is no mudra. Yes? This is not Shastric. In the Gita course classes we say, no, this is just a subtle programming. Itna ho raha hai abhi, thoda time mein ye bhi ho jayega. It's a subtle programming, nothing else. So be aware of all this. So can you imagine that we have such a great opportunity to pay obeisance to the Lord? And it is described just by paying obeisance to the Lord, big obstacles that can come in life is all removed. The big obstacle in the life of Pandavas was the Yuddha that was there. And who was there on the other side? Dronacharya, Bhishma and all great stalwarts. Krishna used a trick at the start of the Yuddha. And he told Yudhishthira Maharaj, have you taken blessings of your superiors? He said, no, go take blessings. Yudhishthira Maharaj went. He paid Dandavat to Bhishma Dev, paid Dandavat to Dronacharya. And you know what they blessed? Vijay Bhava. And Duryodhana is hearing, Vijay Bhava? And also there are purports which Srila Prabhupada writes that just by paying obeisance to the devotees, to the Lord, the big offenses that we have committed, all that is vanquished at one go. Therefore, when we come together, all devotees should pay obeisance to each other. Patani, unknowingly we might have committed some offense. So just by paying obeisance, and that offense will be removed because that devotee is saying, oh, my paying obeisance to me. Okay, tathastu, I forgive you. Chalo, hat. Yes. And also, it is a sign of humility. At least किसी के सामने तो सर झुकाना चाहिए ना. We start in front of the Lord first and devotees also. So very, very important, paying obeisance to the Lord. And the last one is, 11th one is, only one desire. So engaging desire in service of the Lord. And what is that desire in service of the Lord? I want to serve the Lord and not just do sense gratification. I want to selflessly serve the Lord. This is the only desire that a devotee has. I want to serve the Lord to give pleasure to Him. I don't want to do any form of sense gratification. Why we should serve the Lord? We are His servants. Simple answer. We are His servants. Jivera Swarup hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das. We all are Das. We all are servants of the Lord. And our job description is serving the Lord. That is our JD. There is no other job description of ours. A person who is not serving the Lord, how can he be called a servant? So we all are servants of the Lord and we should serve the Lord. And everything that we do in our life, we should do it for the pleasure of Lord. Everything. We should utilize our intelligence and employ every activity that we're doing in service of the Lord. Very, very important. So in this way, these are the 11 activities which Amrish Maharaj is doing personally to engage all his senses in service of the Lord. So first, you have to tell the sense or the organ and what he was doing with that organ or what you will be doing with that organ. First, mind, meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Second, speech, glorifying the Lord. Next, hands, cleaning the temple of the Lord. Next, ears, hearing about the Lord. Eyes, taking darshan of the Lord and His devotees. Touch, serving the lotus feet of devotees. Next, smell, smelling the flowers offered to the Lord, tulsi offered to the Lord. Next, tongue, tasting prasadam. Tasting मतलब खा सकते जितना चाहिए. Next, feet, walking towards the temple. Next, head, paying obeisance. No flying kiss. Paying obeisance directly. Yes, next. Desire. Only one desire, that is, I want to serve the Lord. And no sense gratification. By the way, you know what? These are not optional. These are mandatory. Two personalities in Bhagavatam. First personality is literally giving gali. Anyone who is not doing this, is giving gali to them. You know what he says? Suta Goswami is saying, Shaunaka Rishi is saying this. In 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, shloka 20. He says, 20 onwards. He says that heart which doesn't think about Krishna, that is steel framed. Second, he says, that tongue which doesn't chant the glories of the Lord, that's the tongue of a frog. Can you imagine someone comes to you and says, your tongue is tongue of a frog? That's what Shaunaka Rishi is doing. The hands which does not serve the Lord is the hands of dead body, he says. The ear which does not hear the glories of the Lord is equivalent to the holes in which the snakes stay. The eyes which does not take darshan of the Lord are equivalent to, have you seen the peacock feather? The mark that is there, it looks like eyes, no? He says that is equivalent to that. Because it's of no use as such. And the nose that does not smell the flowers of the Lord, it's like the nose of the dead body. The skin which is not employed in service of the devotees, it's like the skin of the dead body, useless. And the legs which does not walk towards the temple of the Lord, he's comparing that to the tree trunk. Anyway, tree trunk does not move. So tree trunk. And then he says, the head that does not bow down in front of the Lord, it is like the heavy weight, useless. Just the burden. And finally, the ones who have desire for sense gratification, He says they are all hogs and dogs. Gali hai ki nahi? It's not optional, it's mandatory. Okay, if you're not convinced, I'll give you another example. 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Yamaraj is telling Yamadutas. Okay, please repeat this nice sloka. Jivhana bhakti Bhagavat guna namadheyam Chetaschana smarati Taccharanarvindam Krishnaya no namati Yachira ekadapi Tan anyadvam asato Akrito Vishnu Kritya. Yamaraj is giving class to Yamadutas, giving them training before the job. And you know what is the training? The training is kis ko pakad ke lana hai narak mein. And at that time, the first line is Jivha na vakti bhagvat guna namadheyam. Pakad ke lao usko. Usko pakad ke lao jiska jivha Bhagwan ka gungan nahi karta. Get that person who does not glorify the Lord using his tongue. All of you are glorifying, no? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Bach gaye. Second he says, Chetaschana smarati tat charanarvindam. Pakad ke lao usko. The one who does not think about the Lord's lotus feet. Get that person. Chalo, everyone close your eyes. Think about Lord's lotus feet immediately. Yes. Think about the beautiful lotus feet with tulasi on the feet and the beautiful ankle bells. सोच लिया सब लोग ने? आँख खोलिए फिर. बच गए. देखिए, he is putting so many things. Then he says, Krishnaya no namati yat shira ekadapi. पकड़ के लाओ, उसको पकड़ के लाओ जो कभी भगवान के सामने दंडवत नहीं किया आज तक. आप लोग किए ना एक बार तो? अभी ऑल्टर खुलने वाला है. Use it. Can you imagine? Yamaraj is so strict. He's telling Yamadutas, that person has not bowed down his head in front of the Lord. Get him here. Last one he says, Tan anadyadvam asato krita Vishnu krityam. Krita Vishnu krityam means not akrita, not performing what? Vishnu krityam. Service to the Lord. Usko pakad ke lao. आज सब लोग कुछ सर्विस करके जाना. ठीक है ना? See, Yamaraj is so clear. But he is saying anyone who has sang the glories of the Lord, had prasad, offered tulsi to the Lord, smelled the flowers, participating in various services, even once, they are not eligible to come to Naraka, he is saying. How wonderful, na? So I can give you in writing, none of the devotees sitting here will go to the hellish planets. अरे उसने इसने में खुश हो गए आप लोग. हरी बोल. नरक तो ठीक है, वैसे भी नहीं जाएंगे, but we have to go to Golok Vrindavan. And you know what? By doing these 11 activities done by Ambarish Maharaj, we will develop attraction towards the Lord and we will go back home, back to Godhead. Guess what? By doing these 11 activities, our senses will be purified. With those purified senses, when we offer service to the Lord, our Lord will get pleasure. He will be happy. We are servants of the Lord. Our job is to give pleasure to Him. And like this, our entire life, when we live just to give pleasure to the Lord, finally at the end of life, the Lordships, Sri Radha and Krishna will personally come, holding our hands, taking us back home, back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.